18 costly mistakes that husbands make. 1. Working so hard at your job/business, but not in your marriage. Men often pour endless hours into their careers and businesses, ensuring they thrive, but forget that marriages need similar effort. Marriage isn't just a status or a checkbox in life. It's a living bond that requires time, energy, and leadership to grow. Dedicate time to understand your wife, share her joys and challenges, and nurture your relationship daily. Remember, the same intentionality you give to running a company should apply to leading your marriage. A successful career cannot compensate for a failing home. 2. Thinking that flirting with other women is not cheating. Cheating isn't only physical. Emotional infidelity, sharing intimate conversations, exchanging inappropriate messages, or even subtle flirtation is betrayal. If you're sharing with another woman what only your wife deserves, you're crossing boundaries. Flirting creates cracks in trust and invites temptation. Instead, direct all your playful and romantic energy toward your wife. Create an environment where intimacy and fun thrive within your marriage, leaving no room for external distractions. 3. Being generous outside but stingy at home. A man who gives to the world but withholds from his family creates a home full of unmet needs and silent resentment. Charity begins at home. Whether it's time, money, or emotional availability, prioritize your family first. For instance, if you're contributing to fundraisers or helping others financially, ensure your family is not neglected. Your wife and children should never feel like strangers in your generosity. 4. Thinking that showing love is an unmanly thing. Love is not weakness, it's the essence of strength. When God shows love, He sets an example for men to follow. Your wife still longs for the romantic gestures you used to offer during courtship. Simple acts like holding her hand, writing her notes, or whispering, "I love you," can reignite the passion in your relationship. Romance doesn't diminish masculinity. It proves your maturity and depth as a husband. 5. Throwing money and gifts at problems. Material things can't replace emotional presence. While gifts are appreciated, they can't compensate for neglect or a lack of affection. If your wife or children express concerns about your absence or emotional distance, don't silence them with money. What they truly need is quality time, active listening, and consistent presence. Sometimes, all it takes to fix a problem is simply being there. 6. Admiring other women more than your wife. Comparison breeds dissatisfaction. If you find yourself admiring other women's beauty or personality, ask yourself, what are you neglecting in your wife? Instead of looking outside, invest in helping her feel beautiful. Compliment her, support her in self-care routines, and celebrate her uniqueness. A cherished woman becomes radiant. Build your wife up until she becomes the woman you admire. 7. Wasting your family money on meaningless things. Your spending habits reflect your priorities. Splurging on vices such as alcohol, drugs, or gambling doesn't just waste money. It damages your family's trust and stability. Instead, channel your resources into meaningful investments for your family's future. Create a legacy of financial discipline, one your children can emulate. Let your wealth be a tool to enrich, not destroy your family. 8. Justifying pornography. Pornography distorts your perception of intimacy and objectifies women, creating unrealistic expectations. It's a form of unfaithfulness that undermines trust and intimacy in marriage. Replace this habit with intentional efforts to connect emotionally and physically with your wife. Build intimacy through genuine affection, communication, and shared experiences. Lusting after others only creates distance in your marriage. 9. Thinking that being the head of the family means being a dictator. Leadership in marriage isn't about control, it's about service. Christ's model of leadership was rooted in humility and sacrifice. As a husband, you are called to lead by example. Be compassionate, understanding, and collaborative with your wife. Empower her to thrive and celebrate her achievements. A dictatorship breeds rebellion, but servant leadership fosters respect and unity. 10. Ignoring your wife's advice. A wise husband recognizes that his wife is his partner, not his subordinate. God designed marriage as a partnership where both voices matter. Your wife's intuition and insights often complement your own, providing balance in decision-making. Engage her in discussions about finances, parenting, and future plans. When you honor her input, you strengthen your bond and your home. 11. Being too proud to say sorry or to listen. Pride is the silent killer of marriages. Refusing to admit your mistakes creates emotional walls and distances your wife. Apologizing doesn't make you weak, it shows strength and maturity. Listening to your wife's concerns without defensiveness demonstrates respect and love. A simple "I'm sorry" can mend a broken heart faster than any grand gesture. 12. Abandoning your spiritual role. As the spiritual head of the household, you are called to lead your family closer to God. Don't leave the spiritual upbringing of your children entirely to your wife. Pray together as a family, read scripture, and model Christ-like behavior. When you actively nurture your family's spiritual health, you create a foundation that can weather any storm. 13. Taking your job title home. Your professional achievements mean nothing at home if they overshadow your role as a husband and father. Leave your office persona at the door. At home, you're a partner and a parent, not a boss. Be approachable, loving, and engaged. Let your wife and children see the tender, human side of you, not the authority figure from work. 14. Hiding your failures. Marriage is a safe space where vulnerability should thrive. If you face setbacks, such as job loss or financial difficulties, share them with your wife. Hiding your struggles creates isolation and erodes trust. Your wife is your teammate, and together you can navigate life's challenges. Transparency strengthens your bond and fosters unity. 15. Worrying more about what your male friends or parents think than pleasing your family. The opinions of friends or extended family should never outweigh the needs of your wife and children. Don't let societal pressures or negative influences dictate your behavior in marriage. Protect your home from external interference. Make decisions that honor your family's well-being above all else. Remember, you left your parents to cleave to your wife. 16. Being intimately selfish. Marital intimacy is not one-sided. Focusing solely on your satisfaction while ignoring your wife's needs creates frustration and emotional distance. Take time to understand her desires, communicate openly, and make intimacy a mutual experience. Physical intimacy is a reflection of emotional closeness. When both are fulfilled, the marriage flourishes. 17. Letting her be the parent alone. Parenting is a shared responsibility. Don't leave all the hard work of raising children to your wife. Be actively involved in every stage, from pregnancy to nurturing and disciplining your kids. When you engage as a father, you not only strengthen your marriage, but also set a powerful example for your children. 18. Failing to prepare your children for your succession. Your legacy isn't just wealth, it's the values, wisdom, and stability you leave behind. Involve your wife and children in understanding your assets and future plans. Write a will, teach your children about responsibility, and ensure your family is prepared for the future. Planning ahead eliminates unnecessary confusion and sets your family up for success. Conclusion. Marriage is a sacred covenant, a partnership designed to bring out the best in both husband and wife. The mistakes highlighted above are not meant to shame, but to inspire reflection and growth. As a husband, you hold the key to building a home filled with love, trust, and understanding. Recognize that no marriage is perfect, but with intentionality, humility, and a commitment to learning, you can transform your relationship into a strong, thriving union. The Bible reminds us in Ephesians 5 verse 25, "Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her." This is a high calling, but one worth striving for. It's never too late to make changes, mend broken areas, and become the husband God has called you to be. Start today, listen more, love deeper, and lead with a heart of service. Remember, a successful marriage is not about avoiding mistakes altogether, but about learning from them and growing together through every challenge. Be the husband who cherishes his wife, nurtures his family, and leaves a legacy of love that echoes through generations.